Hey, what's up guys, I'm Lan here. Welcome back to a new video on my channel. So in this video I'm going to talk about iOS 15.2 beta 2 update on my iPhone XR. So as you can see from the screenshot, it came in about 726.1 MB on my iPhone XR. So this is an iPhone XR and I have been using beta softwares on my iPhone XR. So in this video I'm going to talk about iOS 15.2 beta 2, and if you're also using public beta profile, you would be able to get the same update, although this is a developer's beta. So in this video, let's talk about what are the new features and new bug fixes that iOS 15.2 beta 2 brings, and also what are the new changes that you might get to see with iOS 15.2 beta 2. So without further wasting any time, let's get right into the video. But before that, if you're new here and happen to enjoy this kind of videos on my channel, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and also consider subscribing to the channel, as it gives me a lot of motivation to make more of this kind of videos for you guys. Now with that being said, let's get right into the video. Alright guys, so the first things first, let me go to the settings and general. As you can see, if I tap on about section and if I click on software version, you can see that the software version says iOS 15.2 and the build number is 19C5036E. So the letter E at the end, it means that there are a couple of betas to go before we get to see iOS 15.2 stable release. And if we talk about what's new, there's a new modem firmware. So the new modem firmware update is 4.02.01. Now I had taken a screenshot. Let me see that whether I can find that. As you can see, before updating the device, the modem firmware version was 4.02.0, and after updating, it has sort of become 4.02.01. So let me know in the comment section whether you have updated your iPhone to iOS 15.2 beta 2. Have you noticed any change in terms of network connectivity? Because the new modem firmware should actually improve the connectivity issues. Apart from that, let's talk about whether the available storage space has been improved or how has it been. So as you can see, before updating, the available space was 27.39 GB. After updating, the available space is 26.94 GB. It is sort of decreased, but that's just okay. So now let's see what are the new features that you get with iOS 15.2 beta 2. So the first thing is, if I click on settings and if I click on this on a profile icon, and if I go to this iCloud, if you have iCloud Plus, now you might know that you had an option to hide my email. So now if you have this mailbox application, if you tap that and you click on compose an email, you click on this from. Now apart from your email ID, you can choose to also click on hide my email ID. So that's the thing, like if you want, it would actually kind of create a random address that forwards to your inbox. You don't have to, the other people doesn't have to know from where the mail is coming, and you can actually hide my email ID. So you can do that. So that's the new feature. It's more convenient. Although this feature was there, you had to go to the settings in order to access it. Now it is there. Now the next thing is, if you go to the settings and if you go to this password and security, so it will just take some time to load, and if you come down, as you can see, this legacy contact option is added. Now if you click on legacy contact and click on this plus symbol, as you can see, it gives you a pop-up and it gives you an option to set up a legacy contact. So after something might have happened to you after your death, all this iPhone data, photos and all this access keys could be accessed by your legacy contact. As you can see, it says add someone you trust, share your access key and pass on your digital legacy. So previously it was very difficult, but now with iOS 15, especially with iOS 15.2, Apple is making this option available. So that's new features. Now one more thing I noticed with Find My application, if you click on Find My application, you get multiple options. If you click on items and if you swipe up, as you can see, there are two new items that has been added, which says items that can track me or help return lost item. So if I click on item that can track me, it would kind of search the any AirTag that is probably near around you and probably that is tracking you, but you are not aware about it. So if you are in doubt, you can always search that, and it would kind of track the items that can actually track you. And also there's this new option which says help return lost items. As you can see, it says when you find a lost item, you can check if the owner left a message. This actually works with AirPods and AirTags as well. So if the owner has left a message, you can, with the help of that, you can return that lost item, to that particular owner. So these were a couple of things I was able to notice. And in terms of settings, specifically the podcast settings are different. If I, just could find the podcast option, let me see. If I click on this podcast, as you can see, the settings a little bit different. Here I have my iPhone 12 on which I'm running iOS 15.1, and here on iPhone 10R I'm running iOS 15.2. so let's just see what are the difference that you get in terms of podcast. So if I click on this podcast, as you can see, the settings looks a little bit different if you can compare. So the overall things are okay, but the settings looks a little bit different. So that's what I found with iOS 15.2 beta 2. Apart from that, there were no new changes I was able to notice, but these were all the changes that I could specially find with iOS 15.2 beta 2. Now let's talk about the battery life. So battery life is one thing that people are always curious about, and if I click on this battery and click on this battery health, as you can see, before updating the maximum battery capacity was 89%, and after updating the battery health has not dropped. It is still at 89% and it is performing at its peak performance capability. Now if I talk about the battery life, as you can see, this has sort of become my secondary device. So the screen on time, the screen off time that you see, these are my screen on and screen off time, and it's kind of a secondary device. So before I comment about the battery life, I need to use this device for some time, and after that I would be able to sort of comment about the battery life. But overall I would say that this battery life has been good, and I expect the battery life to be better on iOS 15.2 beta 2. Now with iOS 15.2 beta 2, the performance is really good, and with iOS 15.2 beta 1, starting from that, the performance on older devices like iPhone 10, 10R and 11, the performance has sort of improved. While I was using iOS 15.1 betas, I felt that the performance were lagging a little bit somewhere. Somewhere while scrolling through UI you might feel a jitteriness or something like that, but with iOS 15.2 beta 2, that problem has been resolved. So with performance at the phones, the older phones especially, it feels a little bit smoother whenever you scroll, whenever you open an application, and the response time, things like that, it feels a lot smoother than previous iOS versions. Now the final conclusion, whether you should update to iOS 15.2 beta 2. Well, if you are already on iOS 15 beta series of softwares, then definitely go ahead and try the new features out. But if you're having only one primary device, then definitely I would not suggest you to install this iOS 15.2 beta 2. Hold off for some time, then you can probably update iOS 15.2, which Apple will be releasing in the future for public. So then again, I hope this video was sort of insightful and helpful for the people who are skeptical about iOS 15.2 and wanted to know what are the new features that comes with iOS 15.2 beta 2. I hope this video was helpful, and give this video a like, and also consider subscribing to the channel if this video helped you in any way, and I will see you on my next video. Bye bye.